Yeah, here we are. So it's tough going towards the end because you guys took up all the good stuff. But got to start by giving thanks. And my family is here. I got 3 of the kids. One of them is the one where I know you're thinking, why is there a kid here? That's my 2-year-old. And my nieces are here, and I think it's great because they just have heard stories about Uncle Ricky, and to get to see a little bit of the highlight film and to see me up here, I think is wonderful. Of course, I gotta thank my wife dealing with me, because it's real. I think when people saw me on the football field, they saw me at my very best. And I believe you don't get to your very best unless you're willing to face your very worst. And this is the gift, I think, of football, because coaches say, we make practice hell so that the games are easy, And I had to learn the hard way to stop making my life hell and start making better choices, because being a great football player, I was able to get away with a whole lot. If I'm being honest, when I was being recruited, I said what I was supposed to say, going to the university to get my education, and I thought maybe, if things don't go well, maybe I'll get an education. And things went great, and I got a little bit of an education, And it wasn't the education that I should have been getting in the classroom. It was education on what it means to be a Longhorn, right? And what it means to be a Longhorn football player, and to carry myself with that kind of professionalism. So, like my sister Cassie said, through the ups and the downs, those memories, those things that I learned here at the university, they stuck with me. Another thing I want to say that I think is very important, again, it's already been said, but I am humbled. Like, are you kidding me? I entertain people scoring touchdowns. Like, you guys are amazing, and I feel so honored to be up here. And I want to thank the committee for, thinking that I was distinguished enough to earn the right to be up here, because there's a lot of ways to distinguish yourself. Okay. And I've done all of them. All of them. I think about what is a university? What is obviously it's a institution of higher learning, but what makes Texas unique? The University of Texas. And I came down to the people. So I want to say 2 of my favorite people from my time at Texas over 25 years ago are still at the university. All right, and they're both here. Ricky Brown. So I don't know if the famous play where I broke the record, he's just in there for a flash, right? But he's the guy in front of me getting the guys out of the way, so it was easy for me to run down. Yeah. So thank you, Ricky. Yeah. And the other one is John Bianco, right? And so it's a little bit different, getting people out of my way, because coming from California, I like to talk, right? And I have big ideas, right? And so media would ask me a question, and I just would start talking, right? And I know every time John would go up behind me and say, what he really meant to say was. And so winning the Heisman Trophy requires, performance on the field, but it also required me to win the heart of the media. And I could not have done that without John Bianco. Because if you're paying attention, you saw what happened when I went to the next level, okay? Right. And so the people, the last thing I want to say, and it goes back. I feel like I was born to come to the University of Texas and win the Heisman Trophy. Okay? Here's what I mean. I'm 46 now. As I get older, I realize that everything that we've done before is preparing us for what comes next. And this idea of what starts here changes the world, it's about what starts here, And I think of roots, right, or a seed. And roots go into the soil, and they're wide open, right? They need to take in what's ever there, and it grows out of that. And I look at everything I've been able to accomplish and the things that I'm still going to accomplish. And I know it was from those days at study hall, because across the street, there's an old room called the tea room. And in the tea room, they had hundreds of black and white, mainly black and white photos of all the old Texas All-Americans. And I wasn't studying, okay? I was looking up at the pictures on the wall, dreaming that one day I'll have my picture on the wall. And I was fortunate enough to have the teammates, the fans, the support to be able to accomplish all of that. And Texas allowed all of my dreams to come true. You know, I remember sitting in John's office right before my senior year. And I led the nation in rushing and scoring as a junior, so I would have been a top 5 pick if I went to the NFL. And my guy, John Makovic, was fired. Coach Brown came in. I remember Coach Brown's first meeting. He walked to the front, and I was sitting there with my arms crossed thinking, this guy. And he starts to give a speech, and after he was done, I was like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And a couple of weeks later, I was sitting in John's office, and I was flipping through the College Football Sports Almanac. And I flipped through to look at the all-time leading rusher in college football history. And I saw that I was 3rd or 4th on the list, and I did the math, and I said, you know, if I have a similar year to what I had last year, I could be the all-time leading rusher in college football history. Wow. And I turned a couple of pages to the all-time touchdown leader. And again, I saw if I have a similar year to what I had last year, I could be the all-time touchdown leader. Right? Flipped a couple more pages, all-purpose yards, and you know the story, okay? So, you know, at that moment, I realized the opportunity I had in front of me. And the truth is, it wasn't really about me. It was about making all of you proud, you know? And for me to know that all of you that are real Longhorns got some joy out of what I was able to contribute, that's the greatest gift in the world. And I thank you all for that.